Hi, y'all. Good morning. Today is July 2nd. Gotta change it. Today is July 2nd. I hope you guys are doing well. It's 9:34 in the morning. I actually just completed an hour and a half of overtime from 8 a.m. through 9:30 a.m. I will say I am still getting up early today. The girls, honey, allowed me to kind of sleep in. We woke up around 6:50, so that was good. I didn't go to sleep until like 1 o'clock. I did overtime last night from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., so that was good. So all yesterday, I did 5.5 hours of overtime. I not as I mentioned, I'm not burning myself out, y'all. We're just in training, so we're just learning, and I'm not on the phones. For me, being in customer service and on the phones, I do not want to be on the phones consistently, back to back to back. So for these first 2 weeks, as I mentioned, that's where I'm going to be putting in overtime. Even after, I'll do like a little bit of overtime on my days off. So Saturday and Sunday, put in a couple hours. Um, the thing about me, y'all know me. I'll hustle, I'll do what I need to do. Nobody's coming to save me. Um, and I don't mind working hard. This to me, when I work, let me tell y'all something. When I work, it's not hard. You work, it's being responsible, being a responsible adult. I watch a lot of videos where people are like, people complain about working. I understand, especially when you're not making enough. Like when you have one job and it's not enough, for your overall, that I mentioned that before, that has to be so stressful. I am and definitely in a good position. I only make $25 an hour. Not only I make $25 an hour. For me, that's good. For other people, it may not be good. I'm out of debt. I don't have any debt. No credit cards. Student loans were forgiven, $5,000, which I would have took care of that myself this year, but whatever. That got taken care of, and no car payment. So yeah, I am in a good position. So when I work, I feel good. I can go to work and be okay and not stress about my paycheck being smaller. Of course, right now I want it to be larger. I need to save back up my savings. This was all before the car accident. My plan was to save to get my savings back up to 3,000. So that's what I'm working on right now. And also medical bills. So I mentioned that to you guys too. Those are adding up, which it is what it is. Yeah. But yeah, I'm happy I'm able to do this. I won't hear anything about my job probably until middle of July. My supervisor is going to be on vacation. So probably in the next week or two, I do hope that, you know, I've never had attendance issues outside of this. Attendance issues in the past, it wasn't really attendance issues. It was covered from medical accommodation before and then FMLA. So that's where you had that coverage. But this time around, no sick time to rely on, and based on my and a psychiatrist filling out the form incorrectly, which I'm past it now, y'all. I'm past it. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, I'm hoping, because my manager mentioned before, but then she kind of like, I don't know how it's going to go. She mentioned the 4 consecutive days would be considered as one occurrence, right? That it will be a verbal a verbal warning. And then because my psychiatrist put in for me to have like an additional 1 to 2 day off occurrence per month for a medical accommodation, because I was going through so much still emotionally, I took off 2 days back to back, was a Friday and Saturday. So now that's not covered, right? Medical accommodation is not being approved because of how she filled out the thing. So I'm like, now it's 6 days, but technically it's one occurrence for the first 4 days and then a second one. Let's just hope that it's like, as I mentioned, if it is like even a final written, I'll take it. It falls off after 6 months. But at the same time, I don't know how it works at my job because I've never had this happen, but that can affect bonuses too, you know. If you're on something, you may not qualify for a bonus. So y'all, I'm not even trying to think too far ahead, but originally this is all the stuff that was going through my head, right? And you can see why I was so emotional, because I'm like, this is not my fault. And then on top of that, my psychiatrist is saying she needs an accommodation for her anxiety and depression, but she doesn't need it. So it was just like, okay, but I'm okay now, y'all. It's like, you know, being positive, controlling what I can't control. While you're okay right now, Candace, get as many hours as you can. They probably won't get back to you until end of next week or the following week, because as I mentioned, she'll be on vacation. I think until next week. So we'll see. They get reports. So the reports, the thing is, the reports don't come in all the time. So it may be a month from now until I learn what's going to happen. But for right now, y'all, I'm doing my job. I'm learning this. I will say this. I mentioned this in the previous video. I haven't been anxious. Let me tell you what they did yesterday. And they haven't done this with any other class, right? The regular calls were so backed up. We had like 40 something calls in queue. They took us out of training and back on the phones for an hour. I had probably like 6 or 7 calls within that hour, if not a little bit more. I think it was like 6 to 7, but they were like back to back to back because we had calls in queue. We cleared it out. But the trainer was like, we never had that happen, you know. I've been in a situation where, you know, training class, because you figure when you take people off the phone and put them in training, then these other people, they take the bulk of the calls now, right? You have less people on the phones. And then on top of that, not just that, the group of people now take 2 type of phone calls. So the calls that's coming in for one product, that one's getting backed up, because now these representatives are taking 2 calls. So if they get stuck on a call and, you know, at another department or whatever, or the other product, there's still less people. So it's like stretching us thin when they have these training classes, and they just been having them back to back to back. I think it was April, May, and now July, and then we have another one in August. So yeah, I was happy, you know, I don't complain, you know. I was happy to help out. So yeah, that's what happened yesterday. That was shocking. I did get a little bit worked up, like getting anxious, because I'm like, oh, I gotta switch back into this, you know. And but I got through it, y'all. I didn't get too overly anxious. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. I have a doctor's appointment for my neck tomorrow morning. Hopefully that's not too long. It's at 7:50 a.m. in the morning. I won't be doing overtime tonight or tomorrow morning. I may do some tomorrow evening though. And then Thursday, Friday, may do some on Saturday and Sunday. We'll see. Because your girl needs this paycheck. So I'm excited to see what the next 2 paychecks will be, because my paychecks are paid up front. So it may take a paycheck or 2 for all of this to catch up. But you guys know I'm sharing my July budget with y'all. I plan on doing that for the rest of the year. And just keeping you guys posted, because you guys know in the past I wasn't doing a lot of videos, especially in the beginning of the year. Um, but now I just want to, it's I'm okay now, mentally I'm in a better space than I was, last year and earlier this year. I'm really happy that I took the time to, focus on my mental health, because my mental health affects everything else for me. My abilities to want to do things, like me going to Amazon, that wasn't my mental, it wasn't my mental health, but that was just me knowing that, Candace, that's going to be too much on you, working. It's not the fact of working, but the hours and getting out the house. It was going to be a lot, and that was going to drain me. And I've seen that from the first day, because the following day I just slept the whole day. And I'm like, we are not going backwards. And I'm proud of myself, proud of myself. Yes, I have goals, but I listen to my body. Goals are goals, those change, they can fluctuate, but, I am always putting myself first versus money, and I'm happy I can do that. There are some people that don't have that luxury, and I can't stress this enough. I feel bad for people that don't have the option, So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. I plan on doing these videos probably a little bit every day, not as long, not as long, but just filling you guys in on what's going on. But I hope you guys have a wonderful second day of July. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.